to Republican Senator John McCAIN, who's out with a new book, co-author of 13 Soldiers, A Personal History of Americans at War. Senator, always good to have you, and thank you very much for joining us. First of all, on what you make of what's happening in Yemen, because these are fast-moving developments where we could be potentially days away from the toppling of that government into control of the rebels. What do you make of it?
Well, first of all, remember, this was what the president in his speech, when he said he wanted to degrade and destroy ISIS, said that Yemen and Somalia were the success stories. This shows you how out of touch this president is. It's unbelievable. When I heard him say it, I was stunned. And all of this, we've watched this train wreck, as we watched it in Iraq, as we're going to watch it in Afghanistan, if we don't change our policy there as far as withdrawal is concerned. But doubly alarming, Neil, is that this outfit is an outfit called Houthis, okay? Do you know who sponsors them and backs them and arms them and trains them? The Iranians.
These are essentially Shiite rebels, right?
Yes, yes, and it's Iranian-sponsored outfit. I'm sure that there are some Iranians amongst them. It was Iranians that were just killed by Iraqi Israelis on the Golan Heights on the Israeli border. It's Iranians that are sponsoring the Shia militia that are having some success in Iraq. It's Iranian-backed Shias that are destabilizing Bahrain. They are all over the Middle East, and these are the guys that the president wants to make a deal with.
Well, let me ask you about, in the case of Yemen, the violence there is certainly going to complicate these 50 to 80 hostage, or those held at Gitmo, right? They're 50 to 80, 50 detainees from Yemen, which are all ready to be cleared for release to Yemen. There are 30 additional others who are waiting for that release, all of Yemeni descent. What happens now?
Well, one would hope that the administration would come to their senses, but nothing would surprise me. And by the way, as you know, these two individuals that made orchestrated the killings in Paris were also, guess what, AQAP, the Al-Qaeda offshoot, which is in Yemen. So this is the one that the president called a success story. Look, but the president tonight will probably talk a lot about Cuba, but you won't hear a strategy for how to combat and degrade and destroy ISIS, which he has articulated is his goal. He has no strategy, so you're not going to hear a lot, except stuff about we've got to combat this evil philosophy that perverts a wonderful, an honorable religion. But you will not hear a strategy as how to degrade and defeat ISIS, and they are succeeding.
What do you think of what I do hear a lot of is some on the left in Hollywood bemoaning this movie American Sniper, Michael Moore among them, saying that it glorifies snipers, even though he said later on he wasn't talking about that movie, just snipers in general. What do you make of the fuss?
You know, your first instinct is to respond. The second instinct is that Mr. Moore likes to make these statements in order to get a reaction, which gives him publicity. But the reason why we have snipers is to save American lives in combat, and it isn't any more complicated than that. And I can't tell you the number of lives that were saved by this individual sniper and others who are highly trained professionals who are really literally saving the lives of their comrades. So, but you know, I'm reluctant to respond to something as stupid as that.
I hear you. I do want to touch base too on colleague of yours, Ted Cruz, saying that Republicans need to have a better sense of humor. And I was thinking to myself, well, you have a pretty good sense of humor. It's not as if we didn't have Republicans running for office who didn't. What do you think of what he's saying?
Well, I think he's right. Let's have some humor, and let's try to enjoy these campaigns. They're very tough and very tense. I think Ted is right, but nowadays you've really got to be careful what kind of humor you use, because it may come back to haunt you, or people will misinterpret it.
Yeah.
One time I was in the 2008 campaign, I was with a bunch of veterans, and one of the veterans said, we were talking, and obviously there was cameras there, and the guy said, you know, why don't we go in and take out Iran, you know? And I said, oh, you mean bomb Iran. Is that what you mean? And we laughed, you know, in a debate. Barack Obama said, and you want to bomb Iran, you know, and it's still out there in the liberal media. So one of the reasons why you got to be real careful in using humor is because it could backfire on you. So it kind of takes a little bit out. That was pretty
silly. I remember that. But Senator, thank you very much. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Neil. Good to be with you.